Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode number 2 of the 9 to 5 Fitness Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us again. Gab, how are you, mate?
Yep, very well, mate. Yourself?
Yep, going all right. How'd you sleep?
Sleep a little bit interrupted today for a variety of reasons,
Ooh,
but it was we get it done, and we're here. Had a coffee in the morning, so we'll have enough energy for this podcast.
We'll get through.
So today, I believe we're interviewing you, mate.
Big fish.
How are you feeling for it?
I'm a bit nervous, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah, I prefer to ask the questions.
Yeah, that's right. I think TikTok have brewed up some pretty juicy questions, so we'll send those out to you, see if we get some good responses, and all the burning questions on everyone's lips will be finally answered. So we're back for episode 2 now. Had a few technical difficulties on the first one, but somehow we've made it for another one.
Yeah, well, hopefully we can get this camera sorted. I think it's working.
Yeah.
But we'll only know after. But yeah, it'll be up on YouTube regardless.
I mean, it's pretty ridiculous. We've spent all this money on all this good podcast gear. I mean, we really haven't cheaped out on it, but somehow, like, we've got all the gear and we've got no game.
All the gear, no idea. I think it's down to user error though. It's definitely my fault, so 100%. I do apologize. But we're building on it.
I mean, that's what you get when a couple of gym bros rub their brain cells together and try to figure out audio engineering for a podcast. But
big dum-dums.
So I suppose we better start this interview with you, mate.
Very good. Looking forward to it.
Do you want to tell us a bit about you just to start off with?
Yep. So my name's Louie. I'm 22, living in Melbourne, Australia. Halfway through COVID, moved out to a property with the family, which has been unreal. So currently living about an hour away from you, but we're still getting our fix in together, aren't we?
Yeah, I know. And that's the funny thing. People think that we literally live together and we're training together every day. But guys, for you exclusive podcast listeners, we'll give you a bit of an inside scoop here. We don't actually train together that much whatsoever, do we?
Not anymore. I wish we could.
Yeah.
We'll bring it back someday soon, hopefully within the next year or so.
Yeah.
But yeah, for now, ideally, like, we train once a week at most.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely jam-pack the content into that session, so we make sure we get plenty of content for you guys to see. But yeah, it's maybe once a fortnight, once a week we train together.
Yeah.
But we did start training together like literally 5-6 times a week, never missing a session.
That was the dream.
So accountable. It was just the way to build that initial momentum. It was absolutely unreal.
We had a rule going where if you were 5 minutes late or I was 5 minutes late, then the other had to buy the other one a beer.
Oh, yeah.
That was so good.
I'm pretty sure I'm up to like 24 beers.
Yeah, you owe me a few beers, but that's all right. Like, still accountability.
Yeah, I don't think I ever paid you back for those beers, but oh well.
I'll chase it up.
Yeah, exactly. So, to get a bit more specific about the great man, Louie Phillips, do you want to tell us a bit about your upbringing?
Yep, sure. So I was born in WA in 1998, lived there for 4 years, and then actually moved to Singapore for 4 years through one of Mum's jobs. Lived there for a while and then came over to Melbourne when I was kind of 8, 9 or so, and then have been here ever since. I've had a lovely upbringing, always been right into my footy, into my sports, all that sort of thing. Never academic whatsoever, but we found our niche.
So you mentioned you're born in 1998. Is that to say that you're not 16 years old?
I am. I'm not 16-year-old. Yeah.
I think I'm the 16-year-old.
That's you, mate. Yeah. If anyone's wondering.
So 1998, do the maths, guys. It might not be 16. Sorry to burst your bubble. Yeah. So you're a big fan of Singaporean food?
Yeah. Especially the weather. The weather. I used to go back there a fair bit. It'd always be on a stopover. And I just love it. Cannot beat it.
Yeah, I mean, it's good for the skin, similar to Malaysia, where I did exchange. It is right next to Malaysia, borders onto it. So, yeah. So you mentioned you're a big footy man. Tell us a bit more about that.
Yep. So born in WA, went for the Eagles, or still go for the Eagles. Came over to Melbourne from Singapore, and Dad was adamant to keep me an Eagle supporter, which he thought would be difficult. But that was around 2005, 2006, when we had the Judd Kerr Cousins midfield, and it was very easy for me to back them in.
Yep.
And be a supporter. So stayed there, went to Auskick, enjoyed it. I wasn't anything special, nothing like that. I'm still not anything special, but I just really enjoy it and like to try and take it nice and seriously.
I think you're being pretty modest there, mate. I've heard some other stories about your footy talent. Guys Don't believe a word he says. I think this guy's definitely could be a late draft prospect. I reckon.
No.
How late do they go? What's the latest draft?
That ship has sailed.
You
Yeah.
reckon?
Oh, yep. Yeah.
I reckon with these athletic programs, you never know what might happen.
That's true, and it's built around making you a gun. So
Yeah,
look.
because it was interesting when we started training together. You started getting these big glutes, big quads, big hammies, and they just made you so explosive. And I remember seeing how much that transformed your game. You went from a little skinny kid playing in the whatever under 18s or whatever they call it to captaining the seniors or whatever it is.
Yeah,
and
Vice.
you were just absolutely smashing it, and it literally you transformed within a year. You were just like the most explosive player on the pitch. Like good luck to anyone trying to catch you.
Yeah. I mean that pace is so important for footy. Like if you're my size or how small I was back in the day, you got to try and find that space and
just off the mark, first 3 meters, bang, you're gone. Good luck, mate.
Grab and go.
So, you mentioned you're quite the academic, mate.
Here we go.
So, favorite subjects, favorite disciplines in university.
Yep.
Tell us a bit more about your comprehensive academic career.
I can do that. So, favorite subject at school would have been outdoor ed. I was all through schooling life. I've struggled to be able to learn. Always had issues. Always through special ed, that sort of thing. Definitely found my niche in outdoor activities, sports things. But I'm at uni. Much to everyone's surprise, I'm still at uni. We've done it. I've got about 6 months left, and I'm studying agribusiness at La Trobe University.
Yeah, I think that was one of the big TikTok questions. What does Louie study? So that's agriculture business. Agri stands for agriculture. So how are you enjoying that?
Yeah, it's really good. It's a bit of a means to an end for me. Like I'm just trying to get it done. It is a Bachelor of Business at the end of the day, so there's plenty of pathways.
Opens up a few doors.
Yeah, exactly. But I have no idea what I want to do with it, to be honest.
Yeah.
So anyone's got a farm that they want me to work on, let me know.
Yeah, you can get you can supply 9 to 5 with a nice chain of Angus beef or something like that. It'd be good for cutting actually. Some really lean, like 5%.
We can organise that.
I reckon some beef mince.
Now we're talking.
Chickens are agriculture, aren't they? Or is that it's all under
it's
there?
All, yeah.
So I'm a big food man. It might be pretty handy for a new business avenue of 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's a good call. Great call.
So we've mentioned footy. And we've mentioned school. So your 2 really big hitters there.
Yep.
Now, do we have any other hobbies in the great life of Lewis Phillips?
Yeah, well, on the agricultural thing, I mean, bit of a surprise to most. And I actually don't tell... when I was younger, I didn't have much confidence, as in like a couple of years ago. I wouldn't tell many people this, but I ride horses, or I don't have a horse at the moment. Being brought up kind of riding horses. Show jumping is my family's big thing. We do a bit of show jumping. I just sold the recent horse about 8 months ago or so, but yeah, looking to get back into it now that we're living on a property and we're just building the facilities.
So first horse's name was Ferrari, and then we had Terry, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ferrari and Terry. So I was leasing one before that called Goose, and he was a genuine goose, but yeah, he's a good horse. And then I got an ex-racehorse, so a thoroughbred, and had him for a fair while. That was Ferrari. He's a good horse, but just a lot of head noise. He was a bit nuts. And then got the really nice one, which is the nice warm blood cross, Terry.
Guys, this is a completely different language to me. All this horse terminology just baffles me. You may as well be speaking, I don't know, Turkish or something like that.
Gibberish.
It's like me talking econometrics to you, I reckon.
Literally. I'd stick with the horses.
So do you reckon you'll get a new horse for the property?
Yeah, I'll do that. I'm kind of having a look at the moment. I've got issues with my groin, so it kind of mixes with footy a little bit. So I'll just try and get as far into the footy season as I can. Yeah. And then I'll look at horses.
Will it be a nice competitive horse?
Probably a young one that I can train up and just like have a bit of fun with.
Put it through its paces, get it nice.
That's it, mate.
Horse with a bit of potential.
I'll get you on it.
So onto a more modern vehicle. So I understand you also like cars.
Yep. Big fan of cars. Always have been, really. You used to be a real car man.
I used to. I don't know much under the hood. I just know like the models and which cars are nice and just, what meets the eye. But when it comes to the actual how a car works and all that kind of stuff. Like it just
the mechanics behind it.
Yeah, I don't really understand it.
It's a whole new world, and I've got a lot to learn as well. But just like really like cars. Lucky enough that I get to drive mum and dad's Toyota Land Cruiser.
Yep.
They also have a C63, which is very good fun to drive.
Yep.
So once I got on my full license, I drove that.
We never drove that before the full license.
I don't know what you're talking about, mate. And then just cars and car racing. I love my Formula One. Yeah. Love my V8 supercars. Just a bogan at heart, to be honest.
And I hate to admit it, but the C63 is just a little bit quicker than my car.
A touch.
Just a tad. It's just got a little bit more power. Has a little bit more kick.
Double the cylinders.
I was quite proud of my car. I tried to get the quickest car I could on my P's, and they changed the laws, and now it's it's a bit boring now, and I want something a bit quicker. But so if you could get any car,
okay,
we're not talking over $1 million. Like, don't give me Bugatti Veyron or anything.
Okay.
If you had 200k, for instance, like dream car you could buy for that.
200k.
Maybe
I'm gonna
300k.
need a bit more.
What would you need?
You can't go past a GT3 RS, like a Porsche.
Yep.
I think that's like a bit of an all-rounder. I wouldn't say no to that. My ultimate dream car is definitely the Ferrari F40, but that's up like 4 million nowadays.
Far out.
So I was lucky enough to do a little bit of work through Zagami's in Melbourne here, which is like a Maserati, Ferrari, Rolls-Royce dealer.
Yep.
And they had a F40 kind of sitting in the showroom.
Wow.
And that was just unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't know.
Amazing.
I think my realistic dream car would probably be like an M4 or something like that.
Yeah. Nice and modest.
Yeah, nice and modest, understated. You know, it's not too flashy. Pretty flashy. Bit of a head turner if you're driving down Chapel Street, revving your engine.
You can turn the exhaust on.
Downshifty, all that kind of
maybe.
jazz. But I'm maybe an M2 after the current car, I reckon.
Yeah, I think, and we'd like a good business car as well.
Yeah.
If you get a nice loud car, you can put a bit of branding on it and spread the word.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we were thinking obviously we were thinking the Tesla, but that's not really too loud, is it?
No, it's not. It can drive itself and it's quite economic, but I don't know. I think we got to go something loud.
The Tesla Model X, we could kind of keep all the stock for all the apparel, the boxes of t-shirts. It'd be quite handy.
Yeah.
We could keep the podcast equipment in there.
Yeah.
We'd really need the Tesla for that. Like, we couldn't go anything less than a Tesla.
Not the Land Cruiser.
But we were also thinking like a G-Wagon, like a G63S or something like that.
One of the new ones. The older ones are they're a bit rough. But, one of the new ones.
We couldn't do it in the old one.
With our 9 to 5 logo across it. Let us know in the comments what car we should get, by the way.
Yeah, I reckon. So the G63 is also quite quick. You could do the grocery shop what is it, 0 to 100 in like 3.8 seconds or something like that?
I think it's in the 4s, but that's just nuts.
4s? That's, I don't know, that's a bit slow.
It's nuts for an SUV.
Yeah, wow, that is crazy. I mean, who needs an SUV? That's turning the earth at that stage.
It's just ridiculous,
Anyway, on to the main thing now that the reason why 9 to 5 kind of started, the gym.
Yeah.
The good old gym.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that, mate.
Yep. So I started going to the gym, I think in about year 11 or 12 at school. Mm-hmm. And obviously I had no idea. Like I'd go in the period before lunch. I'd like have a look at Callum Von Moger's like workout, like arm blaster.
Shout out to Callum Von Moger. Good man.
Shout out. Good on him. And I'd try and like replicate that. But like, obviously I wouldn't go back to it.
Yep.
I had no idea what I was doing. There were like all the big rowers in there and they were twice my size.
Yep.
So kind of built off that, found a common connection like through you with the gym.
Mm.
And then we started training together. And then that kind of really started that accountability.
Yeah.
I think,
And it's quite interesting. To be honest, I started lifting weights quite late.
Yep.
And I see all the guys commenting on our content and they're like 14, 15, 16 starting to lift weights. And
so
mate,
impressive.
I didn't start until I was 18 lifting weights. Yeah. It was quite ridiculous. So to see you guys starting so young is fantastic. And I know there's all these rumors like, lifting too early stunts your growth. Yeah. I'm pretty sure, we'll get some of the professionals' opinion on this, but I'm pretty sure that is just bogus. As long as you're not keeping a 200 kilo weight over your spine, compressing you for 12 hours a day, I think you should be right, mate.
Yeah, I think it's just so impressive, some of the kids that comment on our stuff or like DM us looking for advice, that they're looking for like genuine advice, and a lot of it's got to be like resource backed and stuff.
Exactly.
It's so impressive. It's definitely not what I was doing at that age.
Yeah, and I wonder, I don't know if lifting earlier would have made a big difference for me, But yeah, kind of that period when I started lifting with you at 18, we had no idea what we were doing.
Yeah.
But it was so important for our progress just to make sure and really refine our techniques and research. And because I'm a big science man, I like knowing the science behind things and putting thorough research into everything we did and really perfecting our routines and our nutrition and everything like that. And essentially it took years of progress, and now we're bringing that to you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. It's kind of that discovery of Jeff Nippard as well.
Yeah.
I think you really blossomed on that. Like you can listen to all his videos or watch all his videos and go through all the articles he links and stuff.
Yep.
Like that really works well with you, and then you can kind of convey that into a wider audience, which is me included.
Exactly. He's a big inspiration. He takes fitness content to the next level in terms of research and the science backed behind it. It's such high quality stuff. If you guys want a really trustworthy resource, check out Jeff Nippard. If you somehow have not heard of him yet, you've heard of us. He's probably the most high quality and accurate fitness content creator, honestly.
I think so.
There's a lot of rubbish out there and you got to sift pretty well, but he is one of the really, really good ones.
Yeah, no, super impressive.
So we started gym. We were you had an old bench press with 60 kilos worth of weight, and that's what we started on, didn't we?
Yep. So we started, that was an Aldi purchase, and we were doing that in the asbestos shed.
Aldi, did you say?
Aldi.
Aldi, like the German supermarket, the discount.
Yeah, not the cars. Yeah,
okay.
And we were lifting their little bench press in the asbestos filled shed, if you remember.
Yep.
And
good for the lungs.
Yeah, that kind of, we might not have long, but geez, we got jacked pretty
quick.
It was that asbestos.
Yep.
So yeah, started lifting in there, and that's just, I think you'd cycle over to my house or something. I forgot how you got
I'm
there.
pretty sure I drove, but
we were driving.
All I remember was we'd use the same barbell that we used for bench press to do bicep curls with, and man, that destroyed my wrists. It made them so sore.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez, I hated that barbell.
Yeah. It was a rough barbell, like no good quality there.
It was rubbish, and we'd kind of do that once, twice a week. No leg days, guys. Who trains legs?
Why would you do that?
Never. Like, what's the point? People aren't going to see your legs if you're wearing jeans. Like, but to be honest, I did have pretty big legs from rowing.
Oh mate, I like even from day one, year 6, you had big legs just naturally.
Yeah.
So not to give it all to your genetics, but you did have bloody good genetics.
Yeah. They definitely do help a lot. And then so the gym has come a long way. I don't know what really progressed it, or if there was like a certain turning point, but maybe when we then we started training at mine and taking it a bit more seriously, and we upped it to like 5 days a week, and doing a classic bro split. We do like 2 arm days, we do a leg day, do a shoulder day, do a chest day. I can't remember. We didn't even train back though, but
no, we didn't. I mean, fact of the matter, like we're doing huge sets, like 20 reps, and just like going to failure on everything.
Literally.
Which it's not scientifically the best way to go about it, but it does, like, it built muscle for us.
Exactly. We were completely overtraining and just doing everything under the sun. Like sometimes training for 3 hours, and like we got absolutely jacked off it. But obviously, in that noob kind of phase, anything's going to work if you're training hard and you're training close to failure.
Yeah, would have got the same results from a 40-minute session, but
exactly.
Still.
Yeah, but it was good fun, and we learnt a lot through that. And so the first kind of year and a half of our training, we didn't even have a gym membership, did we?
Nah. But I think, we just straight at your house, you had really good equipment, or good enough equipment, and also a lot of pull-ups and stuff down at Elwood.
Yep.
That was pretty big for us. But then when did we get started on the gym membership?
Well, we joined Bentley Fitness Centre, I think, start of 2019, I want to say.
Yeah, jeez.
Yeah, so we did quite a bit of training. We broke a few benches, broke a bit of equipment here, and we were like, all right, I reckon we're big enough for the real stuff now.
Big boys.
So
Bentley
we joined
Fitness Centre.
we joined Bentley Fitness Centre. It was a great gym.
Yep.
We love the sauna there.
Yeah.
I won't, the clientele isn't like a Doherty's gym or anything like that. It's a little bit, I don't want to be too offensive, but, a lot of retirees there. It's not the most, you don't go there to, be Larry Wheels and sniff some smelling salts and bench 3 wheels. Like
It did the trick.
Yeah.
It was perfect for what we wanted at the start.
Yep.
And we kind of became, we grew out of it, and that's when we were ready for the next gym.
Yeah, exactly. And the next gym was Yes Fitness, the current gym.
Friends of the podcast.
Exactly. I believe they might sort us out with they are sorting us out with some memberships, which are fantastic.
Which we love.
guys, we were going to mention this at the end of the show, but this is, I'd have to say, the best gym in Bayside, honestly.
Absolutely.
It's just, the equipment there is second to none. It's fully kitted out. It's just in a great location. If you haven't heard of it, it's Yes Fitness, corner of North Road and Nepean Highway. It's a bit tucked away, but boy, oh boy, it is a fantastic gym.
It is incredible. It's by far the best gym I've ever been to.
Yeah.
And moving away from Yes was probably the hardest part. Just because, like the gym out where I am, it's brilliant. It does the trick, but it's just nothing compares to Yes.
My only criticism is that, as I get into powerlifting, it doesn't have, the competition powerlifting stuff. There's no calibrated plates, competition benches, competition platforms, $2,500 Eleiko bars or anything like that. But, you make do. It's still a really, really good gym.
Poor thing.
And I know, right? I just need the ultimate setup for every single one of my sessions.
What a diva.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm a bit of a snob when it comes to that stuff, but no. Yes Fitness, you guys are amazing.
Yep. Friends of the podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So you've done quite a bit of traveling as well, mate. Do you want to speak to us a little bit about that?
Yeah. So I mean, living overseas through Singapore, and then always going back to WA, and then done plenty of travel with the family. After school, I took a gap year. Went to the south of France, worked on private yachts for a couple of months. And by a couple of months, I tried to get a job on private yachts for a couple of months, did a couple of weeks of actual work. So I worked on some pretty cool, like Russian oligarchs yachts, some 100 kind of feet plus, 100 meters even.
Wow.
In the south of France, which was really cool, like a really good experience. And then after that, just did a month of generic travel, like your Berlin, Amsterdam.
Yeah. Well, I don't know because I haven't done it, but I'm pretty sure that's what pre-COVID all the white girls would kind of do. Mummy and daddy's credit card.
Exactly right.
They'd be supplied a $30,000 holiday or something like that.
Find themselves.
Exactly right.
Well, I found myself.
Yeah, Kentucky trips and that kind of thing.
yeah, at the bottom of a glass.
Yeah.
But, no, but it was good. And then so came back from that trip kind of looking for somewhere to play footy, like just a little bit of a run around. I was super unfit. And then started playing at Melbourne High Old Boys, which was probably it's definitely like the best club I've ever been to. In terms of like culture. I probably owe them a lot in terms of like growing up and stuff, and being around a group of men that are just like really got their heads screwed on and super welcoming to like a young kid, and I was pretty young when I look back at it.
Yep. And you really rose through the ranks there, didn't you? You started off as a skinny little kid playing in the reserves or whatever it was, and then you really proved yourself, put on a bit of size, and accelerated to the vice captain of the seniors.
Yeah, I mean, I had a coach at the time who was just like, multiple support groups who were just like backed me in a whole lot. Definitely didn't deserve to be playing seniors when I started, but like they put you in there, and you're right, and it was like Div 2 VAFA, like it's nothing special in terms of like quality of footy, but it's like you're against bigger bodies, and the hits still hurt.
Yeah, it's a rude awakening.
Yeah, exactly. It's just a good way to go about it. So shout out to Melbourne High.
And just back on that topic of travel now, how important is traveling by yourself for a young man or woman, honestly?
Yeah, huge. I mean, you want to be safe for sure, but I learned a lot about myself while traveling on my own. I'd go a couple of days, I realized, without even talking to anyone, nothing above like a service conversation. So you really get to know yourself, learn a lot about yourself, and you have some really cool experience. It takes a lot to go and sit in a bar or walk into a bar on your own when you're 18, 19, and not have a friend there and try and make friends. Yeah,
exactly. And what I found really kind of awakening for me when I did my solo travel as well is, if something goes wrong, mum and dad aren't there to fix it for you. You're on your own, mate. You better figure yourself out. You better stay calm. And you better essentially, excuse my language, but you better have your shit together.
Exactly right. Yeah. And that, like, you are on your own. Like, they can send money over and all of that. And I'm sure like most of our parents would help us out if we really needed it. But yeah, certainly there's like some situations where you get in and it's like, well, that's a bit sketchy, or like could have been in trouble there, or even just missing a flight. Like,
I've done that before. You can't panic, you just gotta
get it done.
You gotta cop it. But I know, like, traveling was one of the best experiences in terms of development for me, and I'm sure it was the same for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the gap year in general was really good after school. just like figuring out what I want to do. That's when I worked at Maserati,
Yep.
and I really learnt that's not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So I thought I better go to uni. But yeah, it's all such a good experience.
And I know we've got quite a young audience, a lot of young people listening to us, maybe even for some reason looking up to us.
Yeah, silly.
But I know travel's off the cards now, but if you do get the opportunity to in the future, I know it does cost a lot of money, but guys, it is just an absolutely worthwhile investment. You know, you might spend 10, 15 grand on your trip or whatever it is, cheaper if you're just backpacking it the whole time. I don't know how much these things cost exactly, but the value that you will get back from your investment from traveling is so much greater than the initial investment. For example, for me, it literally transformed me as a man. Like I funded my own life in Malaysia for 5 months, and it would have cost me, 12 grand or something like that. Food in Malaysia is pretty cheap. But yeah, like that investment for me was just life changing. And honestly, like I would have spent double, triple that easily to have the same kind of experience.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if you do get the opportunity into the future, like travel, honestly,
I think we've got a lot of a following in like a lot of regional or country towns and stuff. There is more to life than your small country town. Like, get out, have a look at the world, because you'd be amazed at what's out there and all the groups that are there for you.
And for us Melburnians, there's more to the world than Melbourne.
Yeah,
I can assure you that. One of my favorite things, go off on a hike by yourself, get lost, and just figure stuff out yourself, and it's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, 100%.
Cool. All right. Well, we might get into the next segment now. A couple of the questions that not the mailbag segment just yet, but some of the more popular questions and topics that people like. So firstly, I started off, mate. How does it feel when someone asks you if you're on steroids?
Well, I love it. I absolutely love it. I get hyped when someone asks me if I'm on steroids. It's different when Gab gets asked because he's a whole lot bigger. But when I get asked, it fills my heart with joy because it means that I've actually made some progress in the gym.
Yep.
All the lighting's just spot on in the photo.
Yep.
But yeah, it's a funny one. And we've got a big following of people who like to ask that question now and then.
Yeah, I know. And in case you guys missed the last episode, we answered the question, am I natty? And I think it also answers if Lewis is natty. But yes, we are natty. We don't take drugs. This is a natural physique. But I'd say I get quite frequently accused of taking steroids.
And fair enough.
And you get your fair share as well.
Yeah.
But no, we don't take steroids, and it's a compliment when someone does.
Huge compliment.
So yeah, we definitely.
When someone thinks we take it, or
exactly.
ask if we do.
So it's definitely a funny question.
It's a good one as well because it sparks a conversation, and we're more than happy to talk about it. Because like a lot of young kids do listen to it, and it shouldn't even be an option in your mindset.
Exactly.
You should just get it out and move on and put the hard work in.
Yeah, exactly right. And so I suppose we'll get into the next bit of what is 9 to 5 fitness to you?
Yeah. So 9 to 5 to me, I mean, we went through all of that like last episode, but
let's hear it from your perspective.
Yeah. So for me, it's about kind of building an environment and space that is safe for everyone. Or like going to the gym is super intimidating, and we want to help people who are intimidated to go to the gym. All sorts of groups, and I think we've done pretty well with that. So yeah, just a safe space for everyone. We get comments on our TikToks and social media and stuff sometimes that are either homophobic, sexist or racist or any of that, and they're deleted straight away. That's not the vibe we're going for.
Exactly.
Yes, we are kind of gym bros or whatever you want to call it, but we welcome all sorts.
Doesn't mean we have to be condescending or what's the word, discriminatory towards any group. That was one of the big things we set out to do with 9 to 5 is, there's a lot of toxicity out there in gym culture of making, other people not feel comfortable in the gym. And that's something we really wanted to eradicate, as you say, that safe space. And I think in the early days of our TikTok, we get a few homophobic comments and things that were just really disgraceful. And we just call it out. And that's kind of why the NTF community is really, really good, is because, we don't stand for that kind of stuff. And you guys know when you'll call that stuff out as well. So we've almost created like a wolf pack of people that don't stand for disgraceful comments and things like that. You just call it out straight away, which is the environment we wanted to create.
And it's weak as piss if someone's sitting behind a screen like saying all this hurtful stuff. And as we've discussed, mate, like so fine for it to be directed at us. Like tell me how small my legs are, or get as personal as you want with me or with you. But like the second you're offending a wider group or people who are potentially our followers, then that's when we're going to crack in.
Exactly right. We've got a genuine duty to just keep up the, people not feeling uncomfortable in the going to the gym. So
100%.
I suppose the next bit is why you were the main driver for the podcast. I was like, a podcast, it's a pipe dream, mate. It's a whack idea. But I suppose we've actually done pretty well in the first episode. I believe we got an email trending number 25 in Australia on the health and fitness chart. So people are listening to it.
Yeah.
But why did you want to start a podcast?
The podcast, I listen to so many podcasts, and being someone who drives a car a lot, I get through maybe 4 or 5 a week easily. And then I also listen to them to go to sleep. I just think it's a really good way to expand our word and spread the word.
Mm-hmm.
People also want to know more about us than a 30-second TikTok. So, it's just a great way to speak, I suppose. And I think it's going really well. Obviously episode 2, we've got a long way to go.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
it'll be good. We'll have some more topics to speak about, some things in more depth about supplements, about gym, about everything like that, more informative. We'll also be getting some guests on. I think we've got a few cheeky guests you guys probably already know. But honestly, we won't be naming names, but we've got a few people who'd definitely be interested in coming on.
Yeah.
A few good resources as well, such as our gym coaches. Shout out to Josh Bailey, perhaps a very intelligent physiotherapist. We have
the best out there, to be honest,
mate, the best out there, honestly. So we've got literally he fixes us up so well, injury free, touch wood. Get a big knock on the table for that. But so we'll bring you guys the most elite resources that we can. We just want to pack this full of really accurate information and really promote those NTF values. So
100%. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the podcast, because we certainly enjoy making it.
So another big question that we get quite a lot is, how do you balance gym with footy?
So it's a big one. So early days, I would play a game of footy on a Saturday, and then we'd be in the gym training legs on a Sunday at Bentley Fitness Centre, which was, that was okay, but I put a lot more emphasis on recovery nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I will train upper on whatever day other than game day, and probably not before a game. But it's just about structure. So like any days I have footy training, I obviously don't train legs, and I try and do legs on off days.
Mm-hmm.
But while you're in playing, it's just about management, really. I'm not trying to get huge, definitely not through my legs. I'm not trying to squat massive numbers. I just want to manage it and keep my body in good nick.
Okay. So it's just to confirm that again. So you try and train legs on days you don't have training, and separate it as far away from match days you can. And then you're indifferent to training upper on the days that you have training, but again, you don't do it close to match day.
Exactly right.
Okay.
So I think I'll only bring my leg sessions will come back to about 2 times a week. During the season. And that'll be on like a Monday, Wednesday. Let's say training on the other days. And then upper, ideally 5 days a week, might be a bit tough.
So for you footy players out there and other sports as well, I suppose it's really just about manipulating your training volume and trying to space it out as intelligently as possible. So obviously don't do a leg session before training, because you'll be absolutely cooked. Just be smart about it. Same goes for the running sessions on the running program. Just try to space it out as much as possible. Do your running session in the morning, and then go to work, smash down a few feeds, good food. So then you're energized to go hit the weights after work or something like that, or after school. So
it's just about finding your goal, or like realizing what your priority is. If your priority is to get jacked, but you want to run around in the 2s or 3s, then that's so fine, mate. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to play footy, then you should be trying to, or playing the 1s or whatever, then you should be trying to optimize your footy.
Exactly. So I suppose we'll delve a little bit more into later parts of your gym journey, you've had a change in training styles. Do you want to speak a bit about that?
Yeah. So obviously through Josh, our coach, who you found first through our physio, but I essentially went to him and I said, mate, I'm having all these injuries, bad groin, bad back. What can I do to kind of fix that? And he's just taken it on board, done like all this research, and he's kind of built like a program that's built around me increasing my speed, like maintaining size, and also preventing injury. So it's a huge change. I'm not like squatting, like I'm doing box squats, which is like we're always onto like the arse to grass thing, which probably ruined my back in the early days. But just a whole new way of training. And I've kind of conveyed that into the athletic based program.
And so, we do engage professionals with all of our training. And I suppose that's why our programs are pretty high quality, because all of those scientific explanations and, the most optimized ways of training, so they all trickle down into our programs. So we're not doing this blindly and going, oh yeah, just chucking a few bicep curls here, mate. Yeah, just superset with that one. This is, genuinely high quality stuff backed by sports scientists and things like that.
Like, fact of the matter is, like when you were, but before you saw Josh, we were training on these programs like for months and months before. Literally. So like you see the rig that Gab has, or just before he started with Josh, like that is from these programs. Like that's where it's from. So, and
they were trialed and tested with other people before it as well. And people were like, mate, like people should pay you for these programs. I'm like, it might be something I pursue a little bit more. And still, we want to take the programs a whole lot further, advance them way more, revamp them. This is, they're pretty elite in these early stages, if I'm going to be honest, but there's a whole lot more we're planning to go into it with, even with meal plans and things like that. We're really proud of the products we release, and this is going to be no different essentially.
But that's like, with these meal plans, they are taking a while, but it's for a good reason.
Exactly.
Like, they're going to be elite. And I've got to have a look at, Gab's the main meal plan man. I've had a look at a couple of things you're doing with it, and it's going to be next level. No doubt.
I don't think there's something on the market like this. Most of the things you get on the market are just like a standardized PDF, which will, essentially be a cookie cutter thing that everyone gets, and you pay, $30 or whatever it is. But this will be fairly personalized. It will have, full Excel breakdowns of each meal, the macronutrient breakdowns, full instructions on how to cook them. And they're just going to be really nutrient dense, not just rubbish, disgusting meals. This is what I actually eat. And it's taking ages, because it needs to take ages. I'm not going to release some rubbish product out there and say, give me $50 for this PDF, man, and enjoy it. Thanks for your money. I'm not releasing something with our name on it that I'm not proud of, essentially. So,
which is elite, and we love that.
So I suppose that is a good segue into our next topic on having a coach versus making your own sessions. So I know there's probably a lot of people that listen that are like, oh no, I don't need to like pay for any additional resources. Like, how hard is going to the gym? I'll just go into the gym and train whatever. Like, I'm going to get big anyway. But how important is actually having a structure, whether it's a coach or like a personalized program versus training blindly?
Well, I mean, that's the difference between us, doing pull-ups down at the park or doing 20 sets of arms and making, reasonable gains. And then we got into proper programming, and it's life-changing. Like the gains just come so much quicker. You're doing repeat efforts kind of thing. But then also having a coach, I found like especially this last year, building like a crew around yourself. So we got the coach, we've got the physio, obviously good mates and all that sort of thing. And so when you do break your arm, when you do pull a hammy, like you're into effect straight away, and you're finding a new training routine. You're doing everything you can to prevent something like that happening again. And also, how quickly can we build back?
You've got a full support team behind you. Guys, exactly. I know like these things are expensive, and we might not have the money, but investing in yourself is one of the best things you can do. Excuse me. If $50, it's not cheap, but this is not a rubbish program. Like investing into yourself is something genuinely worthwhile. And I don't know if it's just my irrational justification, I'm just, spending this money on myself. I need to do it. I'm investing in myself. But honestly, if you put the effort in and you're getting something out of it and it's good for your mental health, you're enjoying it and you're making progress, the money you spend initially is laughable. Like, it's not even a question. Like,
yeah. I mean, yeah. Like, it takes us at least 2 hours to make these programs for you.
Yeah.
So, like, if you don't think our time's worth $25 an hour, then, like, geez, on to the next bloke.
Yeah, exactly. And the same with our coach, like coaching isn't cheap.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, the value we get out of that, it's just, it's incredible. So,
yeah.
I suppose...
Huge shout out to Josh as well.
Exactly. Josh, mate, what a legend. He's tagged in our Instagrams, just did testing this week. He's a legend.
Yeah.
I suppose that'll bring us to our mailbag segment, mate.
Uh-oh.
We've got a brimming mailbag. It's just full with all these letters from you guys asking questions.
Yep.
Our figurative letters, they're actually just comments on TikTok and Instagram. But we'll get into the first one. So, Charlie Irwin, you little joker, mate. He asked, I'm 16. Should I be taking creatine? ?
Very good. Very good, Charlie. Obviously, Gab uploaded a TikTok and was essentially like, look, don't ask a question like I'm 16.
Yeah.
And should I take creatine?
Yeah.
And he's gone and done it. So that was the joke.
You absolute madman.
Had to be there, I think.
You did a funny. Here's your laugh, mate. Ha ha. But to actually answer your question, because there probably is a lot of 16-year-olds wondering
true.
if you do take creatine. Honestly, I'm not a scientist. I don't know. I don't want you to die. I'm just going to say, talk to your doctor, who's probably going to be really conservative and tell you don't take creatine because your mum's in the appointment with you. But honestly, I don't think there'd be any danger in it. We started taking it at 18. So I'd say if you're 18, you're fine, but we don't want to give any irresponsible advice. So, mate, you do what you want to do. 9 to 5 didn't say anything for legal reasons, and go talk to your doctor.
Read between the lines.
Exactly. So, next one is from Isaac.Fanning. What position does Lewis play?
Yep, so I play on the wing in footy, and then sometimes through the middle. I've got a lot of work to do with my fitness at the moment, which is handy having the broken arm, because I can really focus on that. But an outside midfielder essentially, and I do not get any hard ball. So
Yep. So racking up 35 disposals a game, that'd be a quiet game, I think, isn't it?
No, probably about 15, and spray every single kick, but only had one concussion because I'm never putting my head over the footy.
And so
just being smart.
Do you count your own stats?
Mate, I can't even count my fingers. So.
Yeah. All right, so we did get a lot of non-PG questions. We won't be answering those ones for the moment, just because we like to keep it clean and respectful. But this one is a little bit controversial, and it's probably just bordering over that PG rating. It's from Justin Zanandrea. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, mate. Will Lewis start an OF ? So that stands for OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, look, 9 to 5 did start out with a big following of people who wanted us to start an OnlyFans.
Yep.
And we had lots of DMs and stuff, people asking for certain things. Obviously, we couldn't provide them.
Yep.
But, mate, if the calling's out there, sometimes...
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know about me, mate.
Gab doing a squat naked. I mean, I reckon it'd sell for... No, none of that, and it's not happening.
Yeah, sorry, Justin, to break your heart, mate, but probably not in the near future. So long as the programs keep selling, guys.
Yeah, or if my uni degree goes to...
So Mitchell Smith asks, what's the best game of footy you've played?
Oh, that'd have to be in like under 12s or under 14s, one of those. I was playing against Paran when I was playing for Ormond.
Yep.
And we were in like the 10th division.
Yep.
So quality of footy probably not that high.
Yep.
I think I kicked 12 or 14 goals. So
it's just a quiet day.
It's a big one.
A few snags.
Yeah, didn't pass to anyone.
Yeah.
And I was
Why would you?
Why would you? Slotting him from everywhere.
Yeah. All right, so we've got a question from Jacko Jimbro. How has Lewis kept his motivation even though his arm is out of action?
Yeah, I mean, it's really difficult, to be honest. And I had just like the most miserable gym session yesterday. I'm loving doing legs, but training upper is just so flattening. Like, I to be honest, I hate it, but it's just a means to an end.
Yeah.
Like, I just need to get it done. And how I stay motivated is, firstly, I can grow my legs. So good time to focus on that.
Yep.
And then secondly, knowing that if I put the work in now, I'll come back bigger, better, and quicker, most importantly. So I'm doing cross education, which is essentially like if I'm working my right bicep, or my right pec, then like that will transfer across to my left without having to train. Only like, I think it's like 10 to 20%.
Yeah.
But it's something.
Yeah.
You know?
You're doing everything you can essentially.
Exactly.
And that's a really good attitude, just having a structure in place and a goal in mind and just doing everything you can, not feeling sorry for yourself.
100%. Exactly right.
Cool. So I think that wraps up our mailbag section. Thanks very much, guys, for the questions. Keep them coming. We'll try to do a mailbag segment every episode, especially when we get some guests. You can have some questions for them. Perhaps, is this good? Question mark.
Very good.
But yeah, so we'll get into the tail end now. But guys, for the people who are listening and you're not on YouTube, hopefully our footage works on YouTube, but we are wearing these nice 9 to 5, what are they called? The classic tees?
Yeah, this is the functional
the functional tee.
tee.
The functional tee. Don't even know my own products. Sorry, guys. I'm not the apparel man. But yeah, if you do want one of these tees and you have made it this far, we're doing a little discount for anyone who's listening. And I believe it'll be free shipping.
Yeah, I think we'll do free shipping.
Shipping can be a little bit spenny. I understand it puts a lot of people off from purchasing. But if you use the code podcast, if you want me to spell that out for you, it's PODCAST. If you type that in at checkout, you'll get free shipping. So that's just for all you amazing podcast listeners. You can get yourself a tee or any sort of other apparel and get yourself some free shipping.
Yeah, great work for making it this far if you have as well, because we've rambled a bit, but I mean, I think it's good.
I know it's been longer than the first episode, but hopefully we're not too annoying to listen to and you actually enjoy it. But so yeah, of course, if you want to support us or you do want any products, we've got some, as we said, some really high quality programs that we put a lot of time and effort into, blood, sweat and tears. We've got some 9 to 5 merch as well on our website, some nice apparel, the shorts, #1 item, along with the singlet and socks. Get yourself a full kit, mate. But yeah, if you do want to support us, it's all on our website. And yeah, we've got that podcast discount that'll give you free shipping.
Yep.
So we'd just like to say thank you to our sponsors as well. So we've got our new sponsor, Elite Sups. Do you want to?
Huge. Yeah. Shout out to Elite Sups. Also, thanks so much to everyone who has purchased something and used code NTF.
Yeah.
You really help us out directly.
Exactly. We get a bit of commission from it. So
yeah,
anything that you guys, we understand that most people do have supplement needs. So if you do have supplement needs, maybe consider purchasing from Elite Sups and using our code NTF. It does help us out. And to be honest, I think they're like the best priced supplements in Australia, and they've got one of the widest ranges as well. So I don't know why you wouldn't, unless you've got some sort of loyalty to someone else, which is completely fair enough.
So fine.
It does help us out, and we genuinely do believe they are some of the best supplements. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So huge shout out to Elite Subs.
And also to our Yes Fitness, our favourite gym, as we mentioned before, best gym in Bayside. If you haven't checked them out already, go down for a free trial. I believe they do a week free trial. And mention that you guys know 9 to 5 Fitness, because you'll see Gab training there quite a bit. Louie comes down every now and again as well.
Yeah. So make sure if Gab's training, go up to him mid-set and start pestering him, please.
Oh, mate.
Mid-set, just like while he's halfway through a deadlift.
Jesus, I'll have to get the lawyer.
Someone do that, please. And record it. Mate. Make sure you record it.
I've got to be really...
And run after you do it.
Jeez. All right, guys. That's episode 2.
Perfect.
Hope you guys liked the interview with Louie. I hope we answered enough questions and I didn't speak about myself too much.
Not at all, mate. I think it went well.
But yeah, that's it, guys. Thanks for listening and thank you for your support.
Thank you so much, guys. Cheers.